Welcome to the No Views News. This program was created on Wednesday, August 18th, at 3:26 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, by Zeno Reader. There are 675 headlines from 106 feeds we check to build this automated report. Welcome to No Views, daily automated podcast news. The headlines in this super unknown daily news summary do not imply fact-checking or endorsement of ideas. The first headlines are from the current most popular news site, Yahoo News, with 175 million estimated monthly unique visitors. The head of the British Armed Forces said they're collaborating with the Taliban so Kabul stays calm and people can go to the airport. Get out now. Monstrous Dixie fire moves closer to small California town. Cantor fire threatens more communities. Florida police officer dies after being shot in the head while on patrol. New Zealand's growing COVID cluster linked to Sydney Delta cases as police arrest 8 protesters. California family of 3 and their dog found dead in remote hiking area in state. As COVID spreads across the U.S., some Trump properties are actually requiring guests and staff to mask up. A stop to check a wreck on an NC highway turns into a drug bust, deputies say. Forensic nurse who examined Trevor Bauer's accuser after alleged sexual assault. I had never seen that before. Texas school district finds unique loophole in Governor Abbott's ban on mask mandates. A bodybuilding Trump fan photographed dragging a police officer during the Capitol riot has been arrested after a months-long hunt by internet sleuths. The next headlines are from the second most popular news website at this time, with 150 million unique monthly visitors, Google News. Chrissy Teigen responds after Amy Schumer mocks her singing video from Barack Obama's birthday, Yahoo Entertainment. Child COVID-19 cases are steadily increasing, but with schools opening, expert warns this is just the beginning, CNN. Texas school district makes masks part of dress code to get around Governor Abbott's order, NBC News. 2021 Summer League Standouts, Day 13, NBA.com. Rubio wants Biden to block TikTok after Chinese government stake in subsidiary of parent company, Fox Business. Personalities are front and center in the latest Dallas Cowboys Hard Knocks episode, Yahoo Sports. R. Kelly faces racketeering and sex crime charges at federal trial, CNN. Extinct hobbit creature the size of a house cat discovered in Wyoming dig site, Livetions.com. Pence claims Biden broke Trump administration's deal with Taliban, New York Post. Oakland A's pitcher Chris Bassett conscious and aware after line drive strikes head, ESPN. The following headlines are from the third most popular news website, with 110 million unique monthly visitors, The Huffington Post. Massive python filmed popping out of shelf in Australian supermarket. Intensive care unit doc shows what anxious and scared Governor Greg Abbott did after COVID-19 news. Trump just said he had no idea how important the president is. Colbert rips dead-eyed Lego man Sean Hannity over ghoulish new sales pitch. Commentator apologizes after racist on-air joke about Japanese baseball player. As COVID-19 cases soar, more hospitals report intensive care units nearing capacity, with worse to come. California recall debate turns weird as GOP candidate gets hit with subpoena. Progressive attorney Morgan Harper announces Ohio Senate run. MLB pitcher taken to hospital after being struck in the head by a line drive. Chicago reinstates indoor mask mandate amid rising coronavirus cases. The next headlines are from the fourth most popular news website, with 95 million estimated unique monthly visitors, CNN. 2021 already a record year for traffic fatalities. Inmate flees work release on stolen motorcycle. Cop shoots at attacking dog. Woman first inmate to take a law test behind bars. Man cited for jumping fence at Cleveland Airport. Police release photos of suspects in shooting. 8 arrested in connection with burglary ring. Teen to stand trial for first-degree murder. Inmates from the village sent to Midwest City Jail due to issues. Video shows cop save choking baby. The next headlines are from the fifth most popular news website at this time, with 70 million estimated unique monthly visitors, The New York Times. Taliban violently crush first public protest in Afghanistan. Weather updates, Grace is expected to strengthen as Fred trails through U.S. Governor Greg Abbott of Texas tests positive. Biden rattles UK with his Afghanistan policy. Are Apple's tools against child abuse bad for your privacy? The school culture wars, you have brought division to us. This brain remained intact in a 310-million-year-old fossil. Workers, in demand, have a new demand of their own, a career path. How to avoid a surprise bill for your coronavirus test. Actually, wearing a mask can help your child learn. The following headlines are from the sixth most popular news website, with an estimated 65 million monthly unique visitors, Fox News. R. Kelly, what to know about his upcoming sex trafficking trial in New York. Houston police officer sees murder charges dismissed in 2019 botched raid, but could face new indictment. Newt Gingrich, Biden's Afghanistan debacle reminds us that when the world gets tough, Joe hides from reality. 2022 Lincoln Navigator unveiled with hands-free driving tech. No official U.S. evacuation plan for Americans outside Kabul, report says. Biden relying on Taliban thugs to grant stranded Americans safe passage out of Afghanistan. Chris Christie slams Phil Murphy over NJ Dems Italy vacation. Taliban collect demo guns from civilians after takeover, report. Stephen Miller, Afghanistan resettlements driven by politics, not humanitarian concerns. Charleston City Council meeting on school mask mandate gets heated. You are hearing today's top news headlines and more. Today is Wednesday, August 18th. The next headlines are from the seventh most popular news website, with 63 million estimated monthly unique visitors, CBS News. 6 ice cream makers and homemade recipe ideas for sweet frosty treats. 9 super comfy ergonomic office chairs for your home office. 13 perfect summer beach reads for 2021. 7 great coffee table options that look cool in any room. Baseball report, San Diego Padres star Fernando Tatis Jr. returns with a bang. The next headlines are from the 8th most popular news website, with an estimated 53 million monthly unique visitors, Mail Online, the Daily Mail. 8 out of 10 Cats panelist and comedian Sean Locke dies aged 58. Britain will fly 7 more Mercy mission flights into Afghan capital over critical 24 hours. The Afghan resistance grows, protesters fly the government flag into regional cities. Millwall boss Gary Rowett calls for football to follow his club and ditch taking the knee. Life under the moderate Taliban, fighters tar a car thief and tie him to the back of truck. Jacinda Ardern slams Sydney's COVID-19 fight at what not to do in lockdown as she shuts New Zealand. Robert De Niro sparks romance rumors with mystery woman in France. Taliban round up ex-Gov staff and whip women and children trying to flee at Kabul airport. Afghanistan evacuation, chaos at Kabul airport as women beg troops for help. First Afghanistan refugees fleeing Kabul arrive in UK as 100 councils pledge to resettle families. The following headlines are from the 9th most popular news website, with an estimated 47 million monthly unique visitors, The Washington Post. This is The Washington Post World News Feed. Pakistan's hand in the Taliban's victory. The latest, chain says waiting before recognizing government. Woman comes face-to-face with snake in Australia supermarket. New wave of Ethiopian detentions of Tigrayans includes kids. Greek wildfires, major blaze continues northwest of Athens. Belgian Brit teen seeks to break women's solo flight record. Live updates, Taliban fighters at airport checkpoint shoot, harass Afghans seeking to board evacuation flights. Russia sees potential cooperation with Taliban, but also prepares for the worst. Experience tourism combines Roman ruins in the morning, a talk on church abuse in the afternoon. The world's moral obligation to Afghan refugees. The next headlines are from the 10th most popular news website, which has an estimated 42 million monthly unique visitors, The Guardian. This is The Guardian's US news feed. Afghanistan Live News, UK MPs debate crisis as former Afghan president meets Taliban commander. Coronavirus Live News, New Zealand battles first Delta outbreak, vaccine warning for Southeast Asia. Don't blame Russian trolls for our anti-vax problem, our misinformation is homegrown. Sophie Zhang. The mountain town sheltering Dixie Fire refugees, each year we hold our breath. Right-wing lobbies and dark money funders backing assaults on voting rights. British gymnastics deeply sorry and must do better to prevent abuse. F1 calendar reshuffle on cards after Japanese Grand Prix called off. Interpreter for Australian military shot amid chaotic scenes at Kabul airport. An Island by Karen Jennings review, compact allegory of post-colonialism. Aspirin trialed as potential treatment for aggressive breast cancer. The following headlines are from the 12th most popular news website, with an estimated 36 million monthly unique visitors, ABC News. Afghanistan updates, U.S. Embassy destroyed some Afghans' passports during evacuation. Newly unearthed video offers rare glimpse of wanted fugitive. Watch, baby turtles make their way toward sea in southern Italy. Ex-pirate's pitcher sentenced for sexual conduct with minor. Watch, who are the Taliban? For businesses, NYC indoor vaccine mandate means safety and headaches. Lawsuit, mix-up keeps family at gunpoint near Yellowstone. Education Secretary says he's spoken with schools to find mask mandate bans. Georgia board to tap election review panel for Fulton County. The next headlines are from the 13th most popular news website, with an estimated 35 million monthly unique visitors, the BBC News. COVID, Australia's Qantas says all staff must be vaccinated. Covishield, WHO flags fake jabs in India, Africa. Snake slithers out of spice shelves at Sydney supermarket. Haiti earthquake, death toll reaches nearly 2,000. U.S. lab stands on threshold of key nuclear fusion goal. How latte art in South Africa led to a job from hell in Oman. The little-known human stories behind emoji designs. Taliban victory will test India, and peace in South Asia. How technology in the air battles fires on the ground. U.S. left too quickly, says Afghanistan bank governor. The following headlines are from the 14th most popular news website, with an estimated 34 million monthly unique visitors, USA Today. North Carolina child dies of rare infection caused by brain-eating amoeba. Not a disaster, Chicago officials tout Lollapalooza a success with no evidence of being COVID-19 superspreader. Delta variant cases climb to 98.8% of U.S. infections, half of every state's eligible population has one vaccine dose, live COVID-19 updates. Would you get the COVID-19 vaccine if the Pope asked you to? He calls it an act of love. Multiple politicians who opposed vaccine mandates test positive. Texas has requested mortuary trailers, latest COVID-19 updates. Wildfire destroys most of California mountain town. Today in history for August 18th. AP Top Stories August 17th. The next headlines are from the 15th most popular news website, with an estimated 35.5 million monthly unique visitors, the LA Times. Cox served with subpoena, elder blasted for remarks on women of California recall debate. After Times investigation, city orders LAFD to report on bias and retaliation complaints. Search for suspect continues after San Bernardino County Sheriff's deputy is shot, wounded. LAUSD reports 3,255 student coronavirus cases in baseline back-to-school testing. Exploding Calder fire injures 2 people, destroys buildings in Northern California. LA City Council moves to ban strobe lights from protests and demonstrations. What to do before, during and after a power outage. Southern California water officials declare supply alert amid worsening drought. LA County to require face masks at large outdoor events. Santa Clara County Sheriff, urged to resign, welcomes probe of jail abuse allegations. We hope you are enjoying this news podcast. Today is Wednesday, August 18th, 2021. You just heard from the top 15 most popular news websites in the world. More, from other news sources, is up next. Next, Reddit World News. Reddit is a user collective which claims over 430 million active users per month, and these are the top voted stories today. The world must not look away as the Taliban sexually enslaves women and girls. Xi Jinping calls for curbs on excessive income and for the wealthy to give back more to society. Taliban burned down amusement park in Afghanistan, shows new video. China calls for curbs on excessive income and for the wealthy to give back more to society. Taliban kill woman not wearing burqa after vowing to honor women's rights. Nearly 10 million acres of land are burning in Siberia. The Siberian wildfires are more substantial than this season's blazes in Greece, Turkey, the United States, and Canada combined. Hungary to refuse Afghan refugees, won't make citizens pay for U.S. flawed decisions. Taliban spokesman accuses Facebook of stifling free speech by banning group. Afghan Vice President Saleh's forces retake Cherekar area from Taliban. Video shows a group of Afghan women protesting for their rights in Kabul as armed men stand nearby. UK to welcome 20,000 Afghans amid Taliban takeover. Up to 15,000 Americans remain in Afghanistan after Taliban takeover. Pakistan appoints first woman judge to the Supreme Court. Guinea rail builders blast in chimp habitat, no plan to protect apes. A Chinese-backed consortium building infrastructure for a massive iron ore mine in Guinea started blasting a railway tunnel in a habitat for a critically endangered chimpanzee species. The Taliban have seized U.S. military biometrics devices. The next headlines are from Forbes. Galaxy Core IPO adds new China tech billionaire. Now 100 games and at FC Barcelona, will Antoine Griezmann finally step out of Lionel Messi's shadow? Hong Kong's university students arrested for advocating terrorism under national security law. FC Barcelona have 2 weeks to sell 3 players. Felipe Coutinho will stay at FC Barcelona and has been offered Lionel Messi's number 10. Sydney's Delta variant outbreak continues to worsen amid prolonged lockdown. New Hall of Famer Alan Faneca shows epilepsy can be overcome. Drone delivery is live today, and it's 90% cheaper than car-based services. WWE NXT results, winners, news and notes as Indy Hartwell proposes to Dexter Lumis. White House says 3,200 people evacuated from Afghanistan, expects pace to escalate. The next headlines are from Nature.com. Mars rover mishap, beta variants toll in UK open access. Great Barrier Reef, accept endangered status, there's more to gain than lose. Can Chinese diners embrace potatoes? The answer could affect Earth's climate. Electric cars and batteries, how will the world produce enough? Daily briefing, Iran's homegrown COVID-19 vaccines. The WHO is right to call a temporary halt to COVID vaccine boosters. Iran hopes to defeat COVID with homegrown crop of vaccines. The animal that doesn't forget has tentacles, not a trunk. Track disability in COVID-19 statistics. From the archive. The World Population Update. Currently, we are increasing by over 220,000 people a day, expecting to reach 8 billion in 2023. At the time this report was generated, the population was estimated to be 7,725,608,780 humans. Worldometers.info says there are 195 countries at this time and, of those, the top 10 with the largest populations are, in order, China, India, the United States, Indonesia, Pakistan, Brazil, Nigeria, Bangladesh, Russia, and then Mexico. The next headlines are from Variety. Tencent collects another rebuke from regulators, but profits remain solid. The Alley's review, murky goings-on among lowlifes in Emon's darkened streets. DC Comics and how packed with Korea's webtoon for content creation. Demonic review, director Neil Blomkamp gets lost in District Anodyne. Donald Trump calls Joe Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan the greatest embarrassment in the history of our country. Fast and Furious 10 feet set for April 2023 release. Anderson. Pac gets a key part of his will tattooed on arm, no posthumous albums. China's government ups control of ByteDance with stake and board seat in key subsidiary. Grand Ole Opry to celebrate 5,000th weekly broadcast in October. Freeform cancels Josh Thomas comedy Everything's Gonna Be Okay after 2 seasons. The following headlines are from NPR, National Public Radio. Taliban destroy statue of foe, raising fears over their claims of moderation. A woman in Kabul hides from the Taliban, her husband in the U.S. fears for her safety. Senators demand TikTok reveal how it plans to collect voice and face data. Next year, the Girl Scouts will introduce a brownie-inspired cookie. What we know about the situation in Haiti, 4 days after the massive earthquake. Australia outbreak grows, spreads to New Zealand as Southeast Asia deaths spike. Tight supply of truckers leaves a few gas stations dry. Opening statements are slated for Wednesday in R. Kelly federal trial. The FBI keeps using clues from volunteer sleuths to find the January 6th Capitol rioters. A shot against COVID for kids under 12, your questions answered. The following headlines are from The Week. Body discovered in landing gear of U.S. military plane that took off from Kabul. Condoleezza Rice argues U.S. could have followed South Korea's strategy in Afghanistan. Texas Governor Greg Abbott has tested positive for COVID-19. Website detailing underground DC tunnel system saw a sudden and suspicious spike in traffic before January 6th. Virologist suggests coronavirus origin theorists are missing a cover-up that's staring them right in the face. Conservatives should understand why Afghanistan collapsed so quickly. America's core misunderstanding about the Taliban. The end of America's post-9/11 delusion. Pete and Chase and Buttigieg have become parents, we're overjoyed. Taliban spokesman complains of Facebook censorship. The following headlines are from the Texas Observer. Inflamed shows how an unjust world is making us sick. The next headlines are from Universe Today. Who was Giuseppe Bepi Colombo and why does he have a spacecraft named after him? Astronomy Jargon 101, Hertzsprung-Russell, H.R., diagram. These are the news headlines for today, Wednesday, August 18th. This podcast is produced only in English at this time. As of 2020, the Ethnologue reference lists 7,117 different human languages, with English being the third most common, after Mandarin Chinese and Spanish. The following headlines are from earthsky.org. Iridescent clouds have rainbow colors. Next blue moon is August 21st to 22nd. The next news is from Politico. Inflation is up, should you care? UK Foreign Minister on diplomacy with Taliban, we're going to have to be pragmatic. Top EU diplomat calls for dialogue with the Taliban in Afghanistan. Just watching with horror, a photographer in Afghanistan on the eve of collapse. Disbelief and betrayal, Europe reacts to Biden's Afghanistan miscalculation. Lawmakers scrap qualified immunity in police reform talks. Texas Governor Greg Abbott tests positive for COVID. Dem Senate panels demand answers on Biden's failures in Afghanistan. Air Force investigating Afghan civilian deaths at Kabul airport. BlackBerry resisted announcing major flaw in software powering cars, hospital equipment. The next headlines are from the Sydney Morning Herald in Australia. Australian News Live, Victoria records 24 new local COVID-19 cases, NZ to enter nationwide lockdown, unrest in Afghanistan escalates. Delta confirmed as New Zealand starts strict nationwide lockdown. How Australians' trust in science has changed in 2021. CSL posts $2.4 billion profit but warns of weaker year ahead. Exposure cites top 520 as Victoria records 24 new COVID cases. Race by race tips and preview for Randwick Kensington on Wednesday. Cracks emerge in WA Cabinet over Perth Crown Commissioner's appointment. WA on a collision course with National COVID exit plan amid lagging vaccination rates. BHP's oil and gas sale to Woodside could turbocharge climate destruction. Good faith takes a gut punch as National Cabinet pits state against state. The next headlines are from MarketWatch. Deep dive, Warren Buffett bucks Wall Street by adding more Kroger stock to his portfolio. What's worth streaming, what's new on Hulu in September 2021, and what's leaving. Crypto is 95% fraud, hype, noise and confusion, says Fed's Neil Kashkari. The Moneyest, my father's will was amended to have us pay our stepmother's expenses while she lives in his home, and $25,000 if she moves. The Moneyest, my father has abandoned me twice in my life. I found him when I was 30, but he moved his girlfriend in, and disinherited me. Tilray eyes U.S. cannabis market with MedMen move, stock gains in late trading. Personal Finance Daily, how to help people in Afghanistan, and where housing inventory declined the most in the U.S. amid the pandemic. Newswatch, Dow, S&P 500 snap run of record highs as stocks end lower after disappointing retail sales. Americans are creating their own vaccine mandates by cutting ties with the unvaccinated. The Conversation, this is how to safely reopen schools amid COVID-19, lunch included, and what's not worth doing. Next, the top stories about patents and inventions. Fed, CERC, Inventors Employment Agreement doesn't assign patent rights, the National Law Review. Australian government unveils framework for a patent box to offset R&D for drugs and devices, BioWorld Online. Valve gets new patent review from Fed, CERC in game controller dispute, Reuters. Samus Rex patent victory against Google, EDM Tunes. Setting AI to Rights ENT Magazine, ENT Magazine. Promotion of TRIPS Plus intellectual property provisions through the Special 301 review, how did it change during the COVID-19 pandemic, international IP and the public interest. Patents and the energy transition, Lixology. Apple fined $300 million for LTE patent infringement, TechNowize. New study shows surge in data-driven and computer-assisted healthcare patents IAM. Practical considerations for patent assignments after the Supreme Court's decision in Minerva Surgical v. Hologic, IPWatchdog.com. The next headlines are from Quartz. American cities are experimenting with free public transit. Why Walmart's e-commerce growth is cooling off while Amazon is still on fire. Hero to Zero. What's at stake for women in Afghanistan? Uganda will host thousands of Afghan refugees. A Senegal-born factory worker is Europe's first TikTok megastar. Vaccine mandates in Canada might help Justin Trudeau win a snap election. China is policing speech that supports living with COVID. Why long COVID-19 remains a poorly understood disease. How to hold an in-person conference during a pandemic, lessons from TED. The following headlines are from Tech Dirt. Illinois governor signs law banning cops from performing background searches on public speakers. Tech Dirt Podcast episode 294, When Your Art Projects Keep Getting Cease and Desist Letters. Why is the Republican Party obsessed with social media? Netflix's ramped-up war on VPNs comes with collateral damage. Daily Deal, Curiosity Stream Unlimited HD Plan. Redaction failure shows Grayshift is swearing cops to secrecy about its phone cracking tech. Good news, Twitter announces an excellent lead for the Bluesky decentralized social media protocol project. Ford M's pushing game companies to drop loot boxes, pointing at UK law that doesn't mention loot boxes. We are now about 1/3 of the way through this daily news headlines podcast, a free service. Here, next, are the top trending keywords in Google web searches for today, a different window on world events. Greg Abbott. Bayern Munich. Jay Pickett. Lauren Boebert. Travis Kelce. COVID booster shot. Calder fire. Britney Spears. Tim Tebow. Hope Solo. The next headlines are from RT, the first Russian news station in English. Could Bitcoin have helped Afghans keep their savings? RT's Boom Bust investigates. American missiles and choppers abandoned to Taliban by troops in Afghanistan could fall into Russia's hands, ex-President Trump says. Crowd greets Taliban co-founder Baradar on return to Kandahar from Doha exile. China wants to curb excessive incomes and get the rich to contribute more to society. So humiliated, Trump blasts Biden's withdrawal from Afghanistan as terrible time for U.S. India's fuel demand remains firm as Asia grapples with COVID. New crisis in Kiev, Ukraine's inflation spike spells trouble for the embattled nation because of its dependence on foreign cash. New Zealand's snap nationwide lockdown triggers protests, as COVID outbreak grows to 7 cases, traced to Australia's NSW. Chicago pharmacist busted selling stolen CDC vaccine cards online, faces up to 120 years in prison, Department of Justice. UK will only accept 5,000 Afghan refugees this year, as Home Secretary Patel urges other nations to share burden. The next headlines are from Zero Hedge. Palantir buys over $50 million of gold bars, preparing for a future with more black swans. Businesses are refusing to enforce France's vaccine passport. Emerging market ETF outflows hit 11-month high on Brazil troubles. Egypt's bread subsidies may bring millions to the brink of starvation. Macron in provocative Afghan remarks warns Europe must protect itself against new refugee wave. British requests for $3 billion in U.S. Treasury gold, the trigger that closed the gold window. The Propaganda War, and How to Fight It, Part 2. Anonymous bidder offers $120 million for Surfside condo collapse land. Pepe Escobar, the new great game in Eurasia has just been reloaded. Everything ready to burn, high winds stoke California wildfires burning at record pace. The following headlines are from Al Jazeera, Middle East News. Nearly 1,000 killed in Myanmar since February 1st coup, activists. Pakistani startup sees the country's largest funding round. Journalists fear UK's proposed changes to Official Secrets Act. A tale of two Cornwalls, food banks amid luxury holiday lets. Australia's Qantas tells employees, no jabs, no jobs. Hospitals in Bless hit North Lebanon grapple with power outages. Devastating wildfires scorch northern California. Cambodia jails union leader for 2 years for incitement. India's midnight evacuation from Afghanistan, escorted by Taliban. Jerusalem wildfires brought under control, officials. The next headlines are from Breitbart. Connecticut, GOP flips state Senate seat in a district Biden won by 25 points. It's chaos, Colorado families stranded in Kabul after flight cancelled. Airbnb bans Halloween parties to stop coronavirus superspread. Joe Biden takes 9 Marine One flights in 18 days for interrupted August vacation as Afghanistan falls. Trump, because of me, Afghanistan was safer for Americans than Chicago or New York. Trump, Biden humiliated our country, worse than Jimmy Carter and Iran hostage crisis. Watch, Taliban trolls Facebook on freedom of speech, censorship. Exclusive Senator Tom Cotton, disaster in Afghanistan totally avoidable, will be used by our enemies for years to come. Kamala Harris vanishes from public view as Afghanistan crisis engulfs the White House. Hypocrisy, Rashida Tlaib discloses $1,000 in rental income despite backing cancel rent proposal. The next headlines are from UPI News. Lottery ticket bought on man's birthday earns him $50,000. Watch, two-headed sea turtle found on North Carolina beach. Watch, math teacher folds 1,776 origami peacocks for Guinness World Record. Watch, diver finds swimmer's lost prosthetic leg in British lake. Watch, 10-foot python surprises shoppers on supermarket shelf. Watch, alligator spotted swimming in Massachusetts river. Watch, escaped lion wander streets of Cambodian capital. Watch, man balances 101 toilet paper rolls on his head for Guinness World Record. The following headlines are from Earth Files, updates on Earth and astronomical mysteries. Famous volcano Mount Etna has grown 100 feet higher since February 2021. The following headlines are from goodnewsnetwork.org. Trash company finds $25,000 stashed in a discarded freezer and tracks down owners to return cold hard cash. Astonishing peek into travels of mammoth 17,000 years ago, a diary written in their tusks. New Jersey gang member turns into singing star after videos of him serenading hospital patients go viral. Irish metalhead turns his ancestral estate into model of rewilding, it naturally grew into biodiverse Eden. Is this heaven? Kevin Costner hosts real MLB baseball game at Field of Dreams site and it's perfect. You're tuned to No Views, daily automated podcast news. This is a report for Wednesday, August 18th. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Reddit Offbeat News. How latte art in South Africa led to a job from hell in Oman. For the first time ever, the U.S. government has declared a water shortage on the Colorado River, a life source to millions in the Southwest. Exploding power supplies are now the worst thing about the Newegg shuffle. KFC has the fastest drive-through, Chick-fil-A the slowest, study. Stupidity with a Scots accent, protesters claim to seize Edinburgh Castle citing Magna Carta Edinburgh. Driver waiting for assistance with broken down vehicle fatally shoots naked man in Alabama. Woman arrested for explicit jail video visitation. Taliban promise women's rights, security under Islamic rule. Firefighters rescue man stuck between 2 El Paso buildings. Anti-vaxxers think their pure semen will skyrocket in value. The next headlines are from a site called The Next Web. Computers suck at common sense, AI expert explains why. Good UX isn't enough, websites must enchant us again. Hey Python devs, don't underestimate TypeScript. WhatsApp blocks Taliban helpline channels after political pressure. How Cyberpunk 2077 and Xbox Game Pass changed the way I review games. An Optimist's Guide to the Future, how Quantum AI could make Earth a paradise. Review: the Pixel 5a is a bigger, better, cheaper Pixel 5. Grindr is rampant with racism. Here's how users justify it. Get the premium certification training you need to get hired with this Wiz Labs training. The Taliban loved Yoda, but why? The following headlines are from Science Daily. Scientists identify live immune cells in a coral and sea anemone. New method developed to solve plastic sustainability problem. As cities grow in size, the poor get nothing at all. Light can trigger key signaling pathway for embryonic development, cancer. COVID-19 pandemic linked to an increase in intimate partner aggression, study shows. Use your team's emotions to boost creativity. New study reveals that children of mothers with diabetes during pregnancy have an increased risk of eye problems. Free electron laser insight, laser beam interaction in a dipole magnet. Vaccine stockpiling by nations could lead to increase in COVID-19 cases, novel variant emergence, study finds. Dieting, villain or scapegoat? This is a reading of news headlines. This broadcast was created on Wednesday, August 18th from over 100 sources, to give you a bigger picture of the news. The next headlines are from NASA News. NASA helps celebrate Star Trek creator Gene Roddenberry's centennial. NASA invites media to briefing on science launching to space station. The next headlines are from the Salt Lake Tribune. Woman shot and killed in Salt Lake City early Tuesday. Paul Krugman, the bad economics of fossil fuel defenders. Summit County evacuations for Parley's Canyon fire are lifted after rain. In bold move, mayor plans to declare mask mandate in Salt Lake City schools. What would happen if a Utah school district issued a mask mandate in defiance of the state's ban? For now, this southern Utah school district will have the state's only mask mandate for students. U.S. to advise boosters for most Americans 8 months after vaccination. Reports of large hail and flash floods throughout Utah. By running back Miles Davis is turning heads this fall. 963 more Utahns test positive for COVID-19. The next headlines are from Slashdot, tech news for nerds. Free clip art of the cartoon Rock is selling for $300,000 as NFTs. Scientists locate likely origin for the dinosaur-killing asteroid. Laser fusion experiment unleashes an energetic burst of optimism. Microsoft envisions a blockchain-based bounty system to catch pirates. IKEA starts selling renewable energy to households in Sweden. The Google Pixel 5a is $449, adds a bigger screen and water resistance. Critical bug impacting millions of IoT devices lets hackers spy on you. ByteDance, TikTok's parent company, joins the Open Invention Network. People now spend more at Amazon than at Walmart. Says 2022 to require proof of vaccination for attendees, exhibitors. The next headlines are from Fox St. Louis. Amid mask mandate court fight, St. Louis County Council again rejects mask resolution. It wasn't supposed to happen like this, St. Louisian, Afghanistan veteran shares experience watching Kabul events unfold. Fox C6 school district votes to start school year with indoor mask mandate. Cardinal Raymond Burke remains in serious, but stable condition after testing positive for COVID-19. Fox 2 anchor Sandy Miller retires after 25 years in the television industry. Missouri lowers substitute requirements to address teacher shortage. Immunocompromised can receive third dose of COVID vaccine in Missouri. Judge orders officials to work out compromise on St. Louis County mask mandate. Police make arrest in Ferguson double murder case. Mask rule for airline passengers will remain in effect into January, SAW says. These are the current headlines from the world's most interesting news websites. Thank you for listening. The next headlines are from Fox San Diego. Supervisors okay proposal for more law enforcement on illegal pot shops. Dozens of speakers decry masks, COVID-19 vaccine in heated county board meeting. Poll finds Jeopardy! Fans overwhelmingly wanted LeVar Burton, not Mike Richards to host. East County racer seeks title defense in NASCAR Truck Series. The highlight of the summer, junior lifeguards practice rescue techniques at Sunset Cliffs. Local doctor weighs in on why third COVID-19 vaccine shot is necessary. San Diego County reports highest daily total of new COVID infections since January. Suspect jailed in fatal San Marcos stabbing. Taliban holds first news conference, promises women's rights under Islamic rule. The following headlines are from Defense Blog. Turkey to unveil new laser weapon system. British fighters intercepts Russian military aircraft over Black Sea. Russian Air Force's newest transport aircraft crashes near Moscow. German defense group unveils futuristic weapon turret. The next headlines are from SupChina, top news about China. China steps up antitrust campaign with new draft rules targeting internet companies. Chengdu, a visual monologue. Chinese history through the prism of its leaders. This is the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today, in the GMT time zone, is Wednesday, August 18, 2021. Now, more headlines. The next headlines are from KRON4 San Francisco. Recall election, Republican candidates take aim at more than just Governor Newsom. Hundreds of North Bay nonprofit workers trapped in Afghanistan. Bay Area widow reflects on husband's service in Afghanistan. Santa Clara County Sheriff defends her management of jails. Children may be eligible for COVID-19 vaccine by Halloween. Explainer, what do we know about booster shots for COVID-19? A's right-hander Chris Bassett struck on head by line drive. Family found dead after reported missing in Central California, deputies say. Proof of vaccination to be required from Sonoma County employees. CDC adds more countries to high-risk travel list. The next headlines are from the Daily Herald. Wet and unwelcome, Fred spawns twisters and flooding in U.S. Taliban destroys statue of foe, stoking fear over their rule. The latest, Britain to take 5,000 Afghan refugees this year. LA Galaxy hosts the San Jose Earthquakes in conference matchup. Morgan Sharp, Johnson homers in Indians 3-1 win over Twins. They needed to be there, says widow who focuses on the good of husband's Afghanistan service. This industry will never be the same without Arlington Park, Illinois horsemen plead for help. Police search for 3 men after Aurora gunfire. It just doesn't make any sense. Commercial owners hit hardest in latest Cook property tax bills. The following headlines are from Seattle PI. Seattle City Council approves bill limiting SPD's use of less lethal weapons during demonstrations. King County primary election results to be certified Tuesday. Who's heading to the general election? Ready to roll. West Seattle's Great Depression era stone cottage to move to new location. Report, rent prices for single-family homes in Seattle up 7.7%. Today in history, Seattle's Pike Place Market opens for business in 1907. The next alerts are from the Global Disaster Alerting and Coordination System, a cooperative effort from disaster managers worldwide. Orange alert for Tropical Cyclone Grace 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0.211 million. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Henri 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour, wind speeds or higher is 0. Green alert for Tropical Cyclone Linda 21. Population affected by Category 1, 120 km per hour. Wind speeds or higher is 0. Green earthquake alert, magnitude 5.8 m, depth 38.51 km, in South Georgia and the South Sandwich Islands August 18, 2021, 2:48 UTC, no people within 100 kilometers. Drought is ongoing in Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Paraguay. Drought is ongoing in Burkina Faso, Benin, Central African Republic, Cameroon, Ghana, Nigeria. Drought is ongoing in Burundi, Democratic Republic of Congo, Rwanda. Drought is ongoing in Angola. Drought is ongoing in Bhutan, China, India, Myanmar. Drought is ongoing in Madagascar. You are hearing the No Views, daily automated podcast news. Today is Wednesday, August 18th in the Greenwich Mean Time zone. Headlines here were found today in news feeds from around the world, but we do focus on the USA, one of the world's current 195 countries. Now, more news. The next headlines are from ABC Houston. Widespread showers and storms expected Wednesday. Taliban destroys statue of Shiite militia leader, stoking fear over their rule. Grace expected to become a hurricane as it moves towards Mexico. United Airlines warns flight attendants not to duct tape unruly passengers. In Afghanistan, Taliban vow to honor women's rights but within Islamic law. U.S. to recommend COVID vaccine booster shots for all Americans at 8 months, sources. Murder charge dismissed against HPD officer in botched Harding Street raid. Parents send Governor Abbott well wishes after COVID diagnosis, but still back mask ban. Woman arrested more than a year after innocent 5-year-old killed. Former ABC 13 reporter dies of COVID-19, it was not expected at all. The following headlines are from China Post, top news about China, Taiwan and the world. Special repatriation flight takes Australians home from Bali. Malaysia king says new PM must swiftly seek confidence vote. The latest, top EU diplomat says evacuation requires talks. European stock markets slip, Asian markets advance. 19, Japanese child old man pose wins internet hearts. UK's Johnson to update lawmakers over crisis in Afghanistan. The latest, Afghan central bank says $9 billion reserves abroad. The following headlines are from The Gothamist. Coronavirus statistics, tracking the epidemic in New York. Extra, Hamptons squatter explains how to squat in the Hamptons. Does this local celebrity performance of New York state of mind inspire you? Could Cuomo have to register as a sex offender? Investigations continue for embattled governor. Early edition, the American way of counting to 10 on your hands is weak. We must come together and kill the dreaded spotted lanternflies. Photos, KRS-One, Slick Rick, and thousands of vaccinated New Yorkers kick off NYC homecoming week in the Bronx. NYC starts COVID vaccine mandate, what you need to visit restaurants, bars and venues. We hope you are enjoying this podcast. If you have a suggestion for a new RSS feed we should add, please leave it in a comment on our YouTube page. The next headlines are from globalissues.org. How to protect your data from malicious encryption? As the Taliban returns, 20 years of progress for women looks set to disappear overnight. UN chief urges support for Haiti to avert humanitarian disaster. Afghanistan is facing a cultural disaster, says UN rights expert. A new global agenda on sport for 2030. Poor sales at slated Namibian elephant auction. Fuel crisis in Lebanon means potential humanitarian catastrophe, senior UN official. Afghanistan, UN agencies urge Taliban to make good on promises to protect vulnerable. UN Weather Agency, millions affected by climate change and extreme weather in Latin America and Caribbean. Untitled Ebola vaccination of high-risk populations begins 3 days after outbreak declared. The next headlines are from blacklistednews.com. Billions spent on Afghan army ultimately benefited Taliban. Unbelievable photo shows hundreds of Afghans escaped Taliban aboard US C-17s. Hate hoax, investigation reveals Tennessee Vax director what muzzle she claimed someone else mailed to her to send a message. The Afghanistan war and the dissenters we should have listened to. CNN correspondent says there's clearly big holes in Twitter policy, as Taliban used network while Trump is banned. All of New Zealand goes to maximum lockdown after one COVID case in Auckland. Afghanistan is the thread that will start to unravel Western dreams of a new world order. The DA sees an innocent man's life savings without charging him with a crime. U.S. Treasury freezes billions in Afghan reserves, depriving Taliban of cash. Free Society dwindles as permission requirements grow. The following headlines are from Snopes, a fact-checking service. Viral Trump versus Biden gas prices meme is highly misleading. DeSantis top donor invests in COVID drug governor promotes. Taliban allowing safe passage from Kabul in U.S. airlift. Texas Governor Greg Abbott tests positive for COVID-19. Does a video show firefighters catching a suicidal woman in midair? Is Isaac Newton's apple tree still alive? Heath Ledger did not improvise in the hospital scene in The Dark Knight after a mishap. Does pic show healthcare worker who treated COVID patients for 573 days? Recall, FDA expands recall of frozen shrimp linked to salmonella outbreak. The next headlines are from factcheck.org. Timeline of U.S. withdrawal from Afghanistan. Marine General supports vaccinations for military. We are now about 2/3 of the way through today's news headlines. When everything is working, this feed will auto-update 3 times per day. Join us daily to stay informed. The next headlines are from the Daily Beast. Team MAGA goes full nativist on Afghan refugees. Kenneth Petty's sexual assault victim wants you and Nicki Minaj to know one thing: this happened. How R. Kelly's die-hard entourage could land him in prison. MAGA weirdos blame critical race theory and woke generals for Afghanistan. Are Emily Blunt and Dwayne Johnson making a propaganda film for Amazon? Biden's big plans for America just blew up in Afghanistan. QAnon Queen's followers are sending insane anti-vax notes to hospitals. These silk blouses are easy to care for and easier to wear. Russia is putting fell hives of its diplomats in the Taliban's hands. America will need Russia, China and Pakistan to help deal with the Taliban. The next headlines are from the New York Post. Yankees Luke Voit, I deserve to play as much as Anthony Rizzo. Mets Marcus Stroman not in talkative mood after strong outing. Reporter who covered Saigon says Afghanistan fall like Vietnam at warp speed. Man dead after falling 50 feet from chairlift at amusement park. Rep. John Katko warns of heightened threat to homeland amid Afghanistan crisis. The following headlines are from astronomy.com. NASA lands in the new Space and Beyond box. You're tuned to the No Views, daily automated podcast news. If you are hearing this, you found something super unknown. Congratulations. Now back to the headlines. The next science headlines are from CBS News. COVID boosters to be advised for many Americans amid surge of Delta variant. Texas Governor Greg Abbott tests positive for COVID-19 as mask debate heats up in Texas and Florida. Doctors fight 2 pandemics, COVID surge and misinformation. White House to recommend COVID vaccine booster shots. Sought to extend mask mandate through January 2022. Tropical storm Fred makes landfall along Florida coast. Recommendation for COVID-19 vaccine booster shots expected soon. Biden administration to recommend COVID-19 vaccine booster shots. U.S. to recommend COVID vaccine boosters after 8 months. 7.2 magnitude earthquake kills more than 1,480. The next headlines are from the New York Daily News. Los Angeles County mandates masks for sports stadiums, other outdoor mega events. Frozen shrimp commonly found at Whole Foods recalled for possible salmonella contamination. Boy, 5, bitten by coyote while playing in backyard sandbox. Thrill-seeking tourist who headed to Afghanistan evacuated to Kuwait. Texas Governor Greg Abbott, who has banned mask and vax mandates, has COVID. California Attorney General to review 2009 police killing of Oscar Grant. Michigan man branded racist terrorist sentenced for attacking black neighbor's home outside Detroit. 32-year-old man dies after falling off chairlift at Utah amusement park. Polish Olympian auctions silver medal to pay for a baby's heart surgery, and auction winner tells her to keep it. Archaeologists find new skeleton in ruins of Pompeii. The following headlines are from military.com. Air Force reviewing fatal incident at Kabul airport where crowd rushed to C-17. More military support heading to Haiti after earthquake. Tropical storm leave 1,400 dead. Howard University offers loans to student vets in limbo after school lost GI Bill eligibility. U.S. agencies scrub websites to protect Afghans left behind. Need support? These veterans organizations are offering help during this time of stress. We've abandoned the people who helped us. Vets grapple with emotions over the fall of Afghanistan. Hourly evacuation flights planned from Kabul as airlift accelerates. Prototype military plane crashes outside Moscow, kills 3. General sex assault court-martial hair American League Division Series changes to flawed system, experts say. Taliban urging women to join government, but human rights advocates are skeptical. The next headlines are from the Chicago Tribune. R. Kelly's federal conspiracy trial in New York set to get underway with opening statements Wednesday. Bicyclist, 70, killed in traffic accident on Museum Campus Drive. Chicago businesses tasked with enforcing mask mandates say it's better than checking vaccine cards or new capacity restrictions. Chicago mandates masks indoors as new COVID-19 cases top 400 a day, no plans for state to follow suit. Former Vernon Hills deputy police chief pleads guilty to charges of theft where he wrote fake traffic tickets, pocketed more than $4,000. Corrections and clarifications. Estranged daughter-in-law of Tony Perquinkle charged in connection with Georgia killing. Kenosha Sheriff, City Police gave armed civilians license to wreak havoc and inflict injury during last summer's unrest, lawsuit. Dining around Chicago with new indoor mask mandate, here's what you need to know. Watch live, Dr. Arwady provides COVID update as Chicago mandates masks indoors. The following headlines are from FIS.org. Nuclear scientists hail U.S. fusion breakthrough. Greek megafires highlight failure to prepare, experts say. French firefighters battle Riviera Inferno for third day. New report from Harvard and global experts shows investments in nature needed to stop the next pandemic. Bee flight suffers under temperature extremes. New prehistoric hobbit creature is among 3 discoveries suggesting rapid evolution of mammals after dinosaur extinction. Unlike humans, cuttlefish retain sharp memory of specific events in old age, study finds. Sharing the love helps male acorn woodpeckers father more chicks. Connection with the past, AI to find and preserve Europe's historical smells. Study examines how to use your team's emotions to boost creativity. Thank you for listening and for staying informed. This audio was produced today, Wednesday, August 18th, in the GMT time zone. The next headlines are from Discover magazine. For a healthier world, start with biodiversity. CBD versus THC, complete guide and recommended products. The next headlines are from the Seattle Times. Japanese GP cancelled because of coronavirus pandemic. Leading off, McGee seeks 500 versus Otani, Bassett hidden head. Prosecutor, Khmer Rouge defendant guilty of regime's crimes. Hardline coup set the stage for Soviet collapse 30 years ago. Pick 6, ex-Tennessee players head list of impact transfers. Home Depot punished worker for Black Lives Matter logo, Labor Board says. The following headlines are from MercuryNews.com. Word Game, August 18, 2021. Bridge, August 18, 2021. Horoscopes August 18, 2021, Robert Redford, stick to your plan and finish what you start. Ask Amy, this man's game bugged me, but my boyfriend told me to let it go. Harriet Cole, I don't want to answer my neighbor's questions. Miss Manners, if this is the new normal for workers making service calls, I don't like it. Dear Abby, we're all worried about what this wedding guest might do. Santa Clara mom, daughter killed in crash on Oregon Highway. SF Giants weapon up and coming star, La Stella, Longoria homer to clinch Fury's win. The latest, Australia flies out 26 from Kabul, plans more. The next headlines are from the Washington Times. Joe Biden cuts vacation short, returns to White House. Andrew Cuomo pardons 5, commutes sentences of 5 others. Democrats to hold hearings on Biden's mishandling of Afghan collapse, evacuation. Kevin Paffrath creates recall headaches for Gavin Newsom. Rush to approve Afghan visas poses serious risks. Biden speaks to UK's Boris Johnson in first call with world leader since Afghanistan fail. Taliban's quest for Islamist purity brought torture, beheadings, oppression. Conservative books triumph as sales surge. Manassas Mosque can import Iranian tiles with Quranic verses, Treasury rules. Taliban's conquest of Afghanistan sparks fears for women, girls. The next headlines are from The Intercept. Afghans try to flee U.S., caused crisis. Taliban spokesman accuses Facebook of stifling free speech by banning group. Surrender or withdrawal, the Afghanistan contradiction. Who lost Afghanistan? They believe anything but the truth, 14 years in Guantanamo. This is No Views, daily automated podcast news. You are hearing headlines for Wednesday, August 18, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Chicago Sun-Times. 4 killed, 2 wounded, in shootings Tuesday in Chicago. Teen boy shot in Humboldt Park. Horoscope for Wednesday, August 18, 2021. 11-year-old girl last seen in West Woodlawn. Sky lose to Wings 80-76 after Candace Parker leaves with ankle injury. Cubs snap 12-game losing streak as Kyle Hendricks wins MLB leading 14th game. Ethics, integrity top of mind for residents as COPA launches search for next police oversight leader. 16-year-old fatally shot in Little Village. Athletics pitcher Chris Bassett struck in head by line drive, leaves game. Chicago fishing, Midwest fishing report, waiting on shore Chinook, inland bass, catfish and bluegill. The next headlines are from the Times of India. Explained, 2021 ICC T20 World Cup format. Why Taliban cannot access $9 billion Afghan reserves. Quick edit, speed up second dosing of Covishield vaccination. Coronavirus, what is vaccine shedding? All you need to know. How can Virat and his men stop Root from scoring big? High Court grants interim relief to Raj Kundra. 2021 Honda Amaze facelift launched at Rs 6.32 lakh. 75 Van Bharat trains could mean new era for railways. Tata Motors' second electric car Tiger EV unveiled. Google's Thomas trouble may be bad news for Amazon. You are hearing today's news headlines. These headlines are for Wednesday, August 18, 2021. Now more. The next headlines are from the Houston Press. David Culley iced at 18-1 to be first head coach fired in 2021. Thorn and Moon opens storefront. This week's best concerts. Abbott catches COVID while Hidalgo offers $100 to get vaccinated. HISD stands firm on masks, for now. Catalandia, beat the heat and the price increase. Things to do, Blackguard's Blackmatic release show at Continental Club. Things to do, Lamb of God, Cynthia Woods Mitchell Pavilion, August 22, 2021. Laramie Tunsil comes in at number 75 on NFL's top 100 players. The next headlines are about world records making news. Teenage pilot Zara Rutherford begins solo round world record bid, BBC News. A Swiss university calculates pi to world record breaking 62.8 trillion digits, hypebeast. Final Fantasy fan amasses nearly 4,000 collectibles, aims for world record, Inquirer.net. See record-setting bullets show, Wallace's Farmer. Free tram rides tomorrow as HK Tramway celebrates Guinness World Record, timeout. Pi calculated to 62.8 trillion digits, setting new world record, new atlas. Meet world number 1 and world record holder in F44 category as Ace Parajavlin, latest tweet by Sai Media latest lie. 100-year-old woman sets Guinness World Record in weightlifting, KSBY San Luis Obispo News. Meet Priya Gurjar, the new compound sensation, The Tribune India. Tokyo Paralympics, 7 Malaysian para-athletes and world record holders to follow, Lifestyle Asia. The next headlines are from Gizmodo. Binance hires former IRS criminal investigator to monitor crypto money laundering. T-Mobile offers free identity theft protection after hackers steal data on millions of customers. What If's T'Challa episode is both a goodbye and a homecoming. Dune's director knows you'll watch it at home, but wishes you wouldn't. Shudder's Behind the Monster series will showcase slasher's most iconic villains. Attack on My Pillow CEO apparently just a guy who wanted a selfie poking him with a finger. Texas Governor Greg Abbott tests positive for COVID-19 hours after attending maskless campaign event. 6 medieval tales that deserve the Green Knight treatment. Don't blame Reed Pop for supercons lax COVID guidelines, blame Florida's Governor Ron DeSantis. Moderna set to test experimental HIV mRNA vaccine in people. What place in the world had the hottest and coolest temperatures today? According to ElDoradoWeather.com, the hottest place on Earth in the past 24 hours was Tiradentes in Morocco at 116.42 degrees Fahrenheit or 46.9 degrees Celsius. The coldest recorded weather temperature on Earth in the past 24 hours was Done in Antarctica at minus 86.98 degrees Fahrenheit or minus 66.1 degrees Celsius. The following headlines are from Ars Technica. Pandemic of unvaccinated continues to rage as states set new COVID records. German chemists identified over 7,700 different chemical formulas in beers. Updated app from Apple brings iCloud passwords to Windows. iPhone keyboard for blind to shut down as maker cites Apple abuse of developers. It's now possible to play early 90s CD-ROM games via SCUMVM. Climate tipping points add to the cost of carbon emissions. WhatsApp shuts down Taliban helpline in Kabul. The Google Pixel 5a is $449, adds a bigger screen and water resistance. Exploding power supplies are now the worst thing about the new egg shuffle. After a dozen flights, NASA's chopper has yet to come a cropper. The following headlines are from Raw Story. Trump in 2020 praised the Taliban as a future counter-terrorism partner. They will be killing some very bad people. Holy dementia, that man. Hannity's Trump interview reminds viewers why they are so happy he's not president. California Republican candidates turn gubernatorial debate into intra-party battle. Trump lies it's illegal for me to say whether he's running for president in 2024. We were bribing them to fight. Trump inadvertently admits Biden is 100% right about Afghan army. Hannity interview with Trump goes off script after former president rants about the Bush family. Can't allow that to happen. Dem lawmaker says Biden is dropping the ball on getting people out of Afghanistan. Trump White House doctor weaseled his way out of House rules against book advances, report. Greg Abbott is learning now that a mask is a lot cheaper than Regeneron, FDA advisor. Do not let George W. Bush escape accountability for America's 20-year Afghanistan disaster, MSNBC's Hassan. The next headlines are from Mother Jones. Unchecked climate change will make life hellish for outdoor workers. A few thoughts on Mike Pompeo and the missing $5,800 whiskey bottle. There's no clarity. A lawyer helping Afghan refugees reckons with U.S. visa failures. How one formerly red-line city is striving to green itself. This former pastor is changing evangelicals' minds on COVID vaccines. The U.S. used Afghan women to justify its war. Now, it's leaving them behind. Internal government watchdog slams Afghanistan war effort as inept and reckless. The following items are today's top search results for the term neuroplasticity. Poor diet and lack of exercise could increase dementia risk, Health Europa. Recurrent dynamics in the cerebral cortex, integration of sensory evidence with stored knowledge, pnas.org. SYNGAP1 regulates experience-dependent cortical ensemble plasticity by promoting in vivo excitatory synapse strengthening, pnas.org. Lack of exercise and poor nutrition could increase risk of diseases like dementia, Mirage News. Regional neural activity changes in Parkinson's disease and ET, Dove Medical Press. Swimming gives your brain a boost, but scientists don't yet know why. The Wire Science. We are nearing the end of this broadcast. This report is for Wednesday, August 18, 2021 in the GMT time zone. What cities are in that time zone? Well, Reykjavik, Iceland, for one. You might wonder if our server is in Reykjavik. It could be. The following is from the UFO Chronicles. 2 planes report bright green UFO. Air traffic controllers track UFO. Pilot gets a scare. That's it for now. Thanks for enjoying today's newsfeed headlines. This, indeed, has been a No Views, daily automated podcast newscast for Wednesday, August 18, 2021. Bookmark us and tune in each day to our free automated podcast to find out what's going on, around, and, sometimes, light years, beyond the Earth. Fair use statement. News i8 is a US-based educational not-for-profit news site. We use only parts of content, in transformative ways and without market usurpation. This means you are still going to want to read the original if you are interested in it beyond the headline and any comments we make. We provide links to original sources wherever possible. If you have any copyright concern, please contact us via our About page for immediate remedy. Contact us, Zeno at XENOMAILS 2021 by News i8. All rights reserved.